Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Ninas Keramat, a GMAT trainer with the Kenya Live program. In today's video, we're going to tackle integrated reasoning. More specifically, we're going to look at one of the question types that is usually tested in that section. In today's session, we're going to do two-part analysis. Remember, there's an earlier video on the same topic in my YouTube channel, so go check that out for further content or information that would help you have a basic understanding of the question type. So let's begin. First of all, as a student, you must always have a strategy before you actually tackle any question on the GMAT exam. It is important for you to have a strategy because it will help you save time, it will help you to narrow down to correct answers as quickly as possible and avoid simple errors. So the strategy as discussed in our earlier video that you could help you with this question type. First of all, scan through the questions to gauge how much information is provided there by the examiner. This will help you save time, and also in case of it needs calculations that take up your time, then you are able to plan accordingly. Secondly, summarize information provided, be it in the paragraph or if you're given a table or whatever the examiner has provided for you. Just take a quick scan of that question, summarize that information, and sort of have a picture of what information is being communicated to you. Then thirdly, practice table interpretations, or develop the skill of analyzing or going through a table. For example, in two-part analysis, we're given a table that contains 3 columns in which you're supposed to choose correct answer choices from that column. So scan through that table to sort of understand what type of numerical data has been provided, or what type of information words are written there that could help you get or understand what the examiner is trying to test you on. Then read the instructions below the written scenario. Again, the examiner will provide for you a scenario. This usually comes in the form of a paragraph, so it is up for you to understand that written scenario by reading through it, breaking down information that is provided there in bits so that you can able to sort of get or be able to identify relationships. Then fifth point here is the same spirit of identifying relationships. It's important to, of course, break down the scenario into different parts or sections, and also be able to scan through the table that contains the answer choices and try and see what kind of data is provided there, what kind of information is provided there. Then 6, use only the answer using only the information provided in the written scenario or in the table that contains the answers. I think with that, you're able to quickly identify how much time you're going to spend on that question, and also be able to sort of scan through, read through, and be able to understand and answer accordingly. So let's begin with an example here. Example 1. At an end-of-year party for the employees of a certain company, Martha has been given an opportunity to win as many as 2 prizes. She must draw at random exactly 1 numbered card for each of 2 boxes, each of which in turn contains exactly 6 cards, numbered from 1 to 6. If the sum of the 2 numbers is equal to 8, then Martha will win a tablet computer. And if at least one of the 2 numbers are 2, then Martha will win a smartphone. Select the probability that Martha will win a tablet computer, and select the probability that Martha will win both prizes. Make only 2 selections, 1 in each column. Alright? So reading through this written scenario that is provided by the examiner, you can tell that they are testing you on probability, and you understand that probability is usually found in the quant section of the GMAT exam. So before you tackle integrated reasoning questions, always have an understanding of both quant topics, quant concepts, as well as verbal topics and verbal concepts. All right. So when you have gone through verbal and quant, then you can easily tackle these type of questions. All right. So in this case, we just break down this information that the examiner is providing us so that you can be able to answer accordingly. All right, you're being told about Martha playing a game in which she has to win as many as 2 prizes. All right, so I think we sort of underline that. Then she must draw at random exactly 1 numbered card from each of the 2 boxes. Again, the point here is at random, not in a particular order. So order doesn't really matter in this situation. Exactly 1 card from each of the 2 boxes, each of which in turn contains exactly 6 cards numbered 1 to 6. this is information that is actually crucial, important for us. All right, so have that in mind. If the sum of the two numbers is equal to 8, then Martha will win a tablet computer. This is the first if the two numbers is equal to 8, then Martha will win a tablet computer. And if at least one of the two numbers is 2, then Martha will win a smartphone. So this is the second scenario. If at least, we're looking for probability of at least one of the two numbers is equal to 2, then Martha will win a smartphone. All right, so we're able to identify two cases here. The scenario that you're being provided about Martha playing a game, then you're provided two scenarios that would result in Martha winning a prize. All right, so select the probability that Martha, let me just indicate here, Martha will win a tablet computer, and select the probability that Martha will win both prizes. So win a computer, a tablet computer, and remember the conditions for winning a tablet computer. So the condition is that if the sum of the two numbers is equal to 8, if she draws, if for example we have a box here, two boxes here, then it has cards 1 to 6. Same case for the second box. These are card numbers. Alright, so if she draws any two cards from either one of these, from these two boxes, and they add up to 8, then she'll win a tablet computer. And select the probability that Martha will win both prizes. That is, she selects a combination that includes at least a card that has two numbers, or at least one of the two cards is a number 2. That is, if she picks a card, two cards, and if she picks from these boxes twice, or if she picks from the two boxes, the scenarios that she will have picked from, then if the cards, if at least one of the two cards is a 2, then Martha will win a smartphone. All right, we'll look at the same practice. So this is selectively that Martha will win both prizes. So our table here indicates the tablet computer, both prizes, then the probability answers. All right, remember that you only need to select one answer per column and not per row. So let's begin with the first scenario. Select the probability that Martha will win a tablet computer. So first thing, we have to find the number of possibilities that are available for Martha. All right, so we have 6 cards. Let's say total possibilities will go to we have 6 cards, and therefore she will pick the 6 cards around 6 times. So total number of possibilities will be 36. All right, again, remember the first condition is the sum of the two numbers is equal to 8, then Martha will win a tablet computer. So we have to tabulate or indicate the number of ways that Martha can pick cards from these two boxes, and the two cards will add up to 8. So first thing, let's start with the lowest number we can get, because lowest number we can go for is 2, because there's no 7 here, because that's why the reason why we're not going with 1, because we don't have a 7 here. So because 1 plus 7 will probably add up to 8, but in these boxes we don't have a card numbered 7. So the first card that we have is 2. To get to 8, we need to pick a 6 from the other box. That adds up to 8. Going to 3, we pick 5 from the other box. It will add up to 8. Going to 4, we need to pick a 4 from the other box to add up to 8. Then going to 5, we need to pick a 3 from the other box to add up to 8. Then lastly, going to 6, we need to pick a 2 from the other box to add up to 8. So the probability that Martha will win a tablet computer, that is, if she draws 2 cards from the 2 boxes that add up to 8, we have 5 possibilities. All right, so probability of Martha winning a tablet computer would be 5. 5 out of the total number of possibilities that are available to Martha. 5 being the number of possibilities that we have here, the number of possibilities that meet the condition above. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So for probability that Martha will win a computer is 5 out of 36. Option here. Going on to the second scenario, select the number the probability that Martha will win both prizes. Meaning she will pick cards that add up to 8, and at least one of the cards is numbered 2. Alright, so remember the possibilities that we had here again is 2 plus 6, which adds up to 8. Then she picks a 3 and add 5. That adds up to 8. Then she picks a 4 and picks a 4 from the other box to add up to 8. Then she picks a 5 again, picks a 3 from the other box, adds up to 8. Then picks a 6, adding a 2 from the other box, adding up to 8. Alright, so these conditions meet the scenario, or that these combinations are what you have found in the first case scenario that indicate the probability of Martha winning the tablet computer. Secondly, select the probability that Martha will win both prizes, meaning the combinations add up to 8 and that they will have at least a card number 2. Right? So in this case, we have two scenarios that have cards that at least are numbered 2. The first scenario is that picking a 2 from box 1, then picking a 6 from box 2, adding up to 8. Then the second case where you have that condition being met is when she picks a 6 from box 1 and picks a 2 from the other box to add up to 8. So there are two combinations that meet that condition out of the total number of possibilities that are available to her, which you can simplify becomes 1 out of 18. Right? So for her, probability of her winning both prizes is 1 out of 18. Right? And that is our answer.
You are watching Success with Bob Mwiti Show, presented to you by Upstack America. Upstack America is a consulting company that helps immigrants find amazing higher education and job opportunities in the tech industry in the United States. You can find our programs by going to www.upstackamerica.com. Upstack America, we wake you up to the unlimited potential.
Second example that could help us in this case. A factory produces one type of widget. This month, the factory raised the price of each widget to X% of the original price. However, the factory only sold Y% as many widgets as last month, and the total revenue from the sale of widgets was equal for last month and this month. In the table, identify the values of X and Y that are consistent with the information provided. Make only two selections, one in each column, right? So again, remember, we have to break down the information that is being provided in this written scenario to sort of help us understand or get a better understanding of what the examiner is testing us on, right? So in this case, a factory produces one type of widget. This month, the factory raised the price of each widget to X% of the original price, all right? X% of the original price. So we have one case here. However, the factory sold Y% as many widgets as last month. So Y% as many widgets as last month. And the total revenue from the sale of widgets was equal for last month and this month, right? So meaning if we take price of which widget for last month, let's just use abbreviation. Let's say abbreviate that as A, then quantity or number of widgets sold, we can abbreviate as B. So to get revenue, it's price times quantity, which is in our case A times B. So we're being told that in the last sentence here, the total revenue from the sale of widgets was equal for last month and this month. So the product of price and quantity for last month must be equal to the product of the price of this month and the quantity sold this month. And again, the price of this the quantities that was sold this month was we say X% of the original price. So you can just write X%. This is percent of the original price, which was A. all right, times the product times the quantity. And for the quantity sold this month, we're being told is Y% as many widgets as last month. So again, Y% of B. So for us to get the revenue or the quantities that the revenue for each of these 2 months, then I think we just need to simplify this equation and sort of be able to identify what the different, abbreviations mean, or the different letters that we have here actually stand for, right? So simplifying this equation, AB will be equal to, let's just write X A over 100, C multiplying Y B over 100. If we cross multiply this, the A and B will cancel out, and we'll have XY equals 10,000. All right, simple math. This is straightforward mathematics, all right? So in the table, identify the values of X and Y that are consistent with the information provided. Make only 2 selections, one in each column. So we have X and Y, the product of X and Y in this case is 10,000. So we have to find what X stands for and what Y stands for. So what is X and what is Y? So the only way to do that, given that we are not sure of what, we are not given further information in that regard, we just use the data points that you're given here. So remember, for X, we're being told that this month the factory raised the price of each widget to X% of the original price. All right, meaning X has to be a number that is greater than 100. Remember, for increment of percentages, anything more than 100 is usually indicated as an increment, usually indicates an increment or something, right? However, the factory sold Y% as many widgets as last month, meaning in this case, Y, our quantity, is below 100. It's a percentage below 100. It's only a percentage of last month, meaning the value of Y will be less than 100. So with that knowledge, we look out for a combination of numbers that if you multiply them together will give you 10,000, right? So using the on-screen computer, you can easily do your calculations and sort of multiply these figures. And for doing that, you'll find out that X in our case would be 160, which is consistent with the information being provided here. We are being told that they raised the price by X% of the original price. So raising it by 160% actually makes sense because this indicates an increment, all right? Then Y, doing simple calculation again, would give you 62.5%. So if you multiply, because this is Y is indicated as only a percentage and not necessarily an increment of the number of widgets that are being produced. So we go select our answers, and remember it's one answer per column, so 160 and 62.5. All right. So these are medium difficult level question types. So kindly join our GMAT training. We elaborate such examples and provide you and give you strategies that could help you ace this type of question type in the GMAT exam. Thanks.